The story begins in a snowy place, as we were being told a story about how the world outside the ancestral mountains has been occupied by the snow-wind beasts, and people living in the mountain range have not had any contact with the outside world for hundreds of years. No one knew about the situation of the outside world. It is said that when humanity was at its peak, there were numerous powerful empires, but they were all wiped out. However, due to its stealthy location, this city remained well guarded from the Age of Darkness. It would often be under siege by the beasts, going through numerous devastating wars, but the city would be the city that is rebuilt again and again. Those motley walls were an indomitable monument, and this city represents the hope of humanity, and it's called Glory City. We are then taken to the Holy City Orchid Institute Fighter Apprentice class as a red-haired girl with purple clothing and fur around her neck, who was the teacher as the students in class were discussing the fact that they heard that the new teacher is from the Sacred Family and is a silver-ranked spiritualist. Sacred Family? That's one of Glory City's 3 major families. The teacher then started explaining about how demon spiritualists and fighters have the same 5 levels: bronze, silver, gold, black gold, and legend rank. Each rank has its own different star levels. Unlike fighters who use their own strength, a demon spiritualist can integrate demons into his own soul realm and merge with them during battle, gaining power far surpassing a fighter. Then she told them that she was indeed one of them and wanting to demonstrate. She told everyone that her demon spirit is the Scarlet Flaming Fox, as she then transformed into a Flaming Fox spirit and continued to elaborate that after merging, one can gain its strength and fire abilities, and went further, explaining her capabilities that the Scarlet Flame Fox is a gold rank beast, meaning that the highest rank she can reach is a gold rank spiritualist. And of course after that, she can replace it for a stronger, more powerful demon spirit if needed, which excited the other students. While on the other hand, our main character, Nie Li, was busy sitting there in a daze, as if drifting into the subconscious space, as the daze was suddenly interrupted by some light rays penetrating the clouds, descending upon him as if heaven itself willed it, which instantly made him wake up in shock, while also confused about the current location. Where am I? My hands. Why have they become smaller? He then looked up for more confirmation, and at the sight of everything he naturally became shocked, as in front of him was a scene that was in his past life, which made him recall everything that was happening at the moment, and looking at the teacher he asked himself, "Is that Shen Shu? Am I in the Holy Orchid Institute?" He exclaimed, "I should be surrounded by the Sage Emperor and the 6 deity beasts. I exhausted all my strength and died in battle. So why did I return to the Holy Orchid Institute? Could it be that I have been reborn?" And to confirm everything, he looked around to check as he was amazed that his friend Lu Piao and Du Ze were still alive, and turning his head some more, he saw his beloved person who was a purple-haired girl, which made him the most happiest to see once more, as then began pinching his cheek to really confirm if all he was witnessing was not a dream and whether he really retired to the past. He later began to speculate why everything that was occurring is happening at the moment, which made him recall his most precious book, the Temporal Demon's Spirit Book, and after some searching on himself, he realized that it was nowhere to be found, as then recalled his memories that it has always been with him ever since he obtained it. After numerous battles, it became smeared with his blood. It must be the Temporal Spirit Book that brought me back to my 13-year-old body. In my previous life, Glory City suffered the furious onslaught of snow-wind demon beasts. The guardian of Glory City, the legend-ranked demon spiritualist Ye Mo, died in the battle. Only a few survived and fled together to the endless ancestral mountains. The older version of the purple-haired girl was there with him, and during the escape, one after another died. Nightfall, the sky dims, and under the threats of death, they snuggle tightly together. Traveling through the endless desert together, we stayed strong because of each other's smiles. But happiness is short-lived, as when I looked back, it was already too late. I ended up surviving the journey. After walking out of the endless desert, I traveled throughout the divine continent, meeting many humans that have survived against the demon spirit, and had many mysterious encounters, including the temporal demon spirit book. A pity that at the time, I was still too weak. When Glory City fell, my family and brothers died in the battle, and Ye Ziyun, who was the purple-haired girl, also died during the escape. When I died, I had just met her. If the heavens were to give me a second chance, and getting back to the present time, he exclaimed that the heavens granted him a second chance. Now that I am back, I will definitely make sure that Glory City isn't destroyed again. If it wasn't for the destruction of Glory City, Ye Ziyun, as a lord's daughter, wouldn't even have a second thought about a member of a declining family like me. But now that I have been reborn, all of this won't be a problem. Although my talent is poor, with the knowledge from the temporal demon spirit book in my previous life, increasing my abilities will be no problem. Neely, why are you smiling? Asked by his friend Lu Piao, but our boy just hugged him tightly and exclaimed, I am just happy. Good brother. Glad to see me. Who is a good brother to you, you gay lord? Release me. However, Nieli just smiled and responded that no matter what he thinks, in his heart he is his good brother, which stunned Lu Piao a bit, and just called him a weirdo as the continued again, that he knew that Nieli belongs to one of the noble families, but however he must warn him that he must not get any ideas about that girl, as her identity is very mysterious, and when she just joined the school, the principal personally arranged her dorms, but our boy Nieli just responded that she is his woman with extreme confidence and a smile covering his face. Meanwhile, in his head, he was thinking about, when will this little girl grow up to become that sultry, beautiful woman? And looking at her, he continued to say that he will protect her and they will grow up together. The girl Ye Ziyun, meanwhile, was thinking to herself that this good-for-nothing has been glaring at her for a while now. Humph. If he dares to bully me, I will teach him a lesson. While the guy who was sitting next to Ye Ziyun was questioning exactly where the girl was looking, and seeing the person, he saw our boy Nie Li making a dumb face, which caused the guy to stare at him crazily. According to Nie Li, he began to remember the guy's name, who was Shen Yui, and he is from the sacred family, one of the 3 major families, and they can be considered a generation of geniuses, and the teacher Shen Shu is her aunt. In my previous life, Shen Yue had always been pursuing Ye Ziyun. It was said that the both of them were already engaged, and in terms of family, they are both well matched, and if Glory City hadn't been destroyed, they would definitely have been married to each other. However, when Glory City was under attack, the sacred family betrayed Glory City and ran away. Meanwhile, the current dilemma is that this Ye Ziyun has a good impression towards Shen Yue and looks at me with disdain. She thinks of me as useless nobility. However, with his past memory of them together, he thought to himself that it does not matter, as thanks to the temporal demon spirit book they have been allowed to meet again, and our soon-to-become waifu looked at him, thinking that he was weirdo since he has been looking at her for so long. It then shifts to the teacher who was looking at Ye Ziyun, who is the daughter of the city lord and legend-ranked spiritualist Lord Yemo's granddaughter. She also has a Cayenne soul realm, and she is a rarely seen genius, as he also continued, if Shen Yue managed to marry Ye Ziyun as his wife, their influence within Glory City would greatly increase, which is why we arranged him into this class. She then released her transformation and began the lecture. For the next 2 years, you are all my students. Although the school mentioned that all the students are equals, I have to inform you of a cruel truth. In this world, equality doesn't exist. After you all grow up, you will soon agree with my words. You can't be living in this fairy tale forever. Glory City is the only city that survived through the Age of Darkness. Therefore, we are the hope of humanity. There are 2 types of powerful existence in Glory City, the fighters and the demon spiritualists. Among thousands of fighters, there will only be one demon spiritualist. Born spiritualists are a noble existence, and as of now, Glory City only has a few thousands demon spiritualists. We are guardians of Glory City. Fighters and demon spiritualists are differentiated into bronze, silver, gold, black gold, and legend, rank. The higher the rank, the more powerful they are. Only if a gold rank demon spiritualist appears in a family can that family become an aristocrat family. If a black gold rank appears, the family can become a noble family, and if they want to become a major family, 3 black gold or a legend rank has to appear in the family. Among the 36 of you here, there are some from ironworker families and some from noble families. Although your start is the same, your status isn't. I hope that everyone has a certain level of self-awareness. A commoner will always be a commoner. Wanting to become nobility is impossible. So give up on the thought of rising up and turning into a phoenix. Even among the nobles, there are strict levels that can never be exceeded. And hearing this lady speak, I would also be super angry, as it also affected those who were commoners. Duze, whose family circumstances weren't good in my previous life, however, Duze was very hardworking and talented. He still became a gold-ranked demon spiritualist with his own strength without the support of his family. During the destruction of Glory City, many nobles only thought of how to escape, but it was commoners like Duze who fought for Glory City until the bitter end. In my previous life, the first was you, the sacred family who was the first to run away, which caused him to angrily glare at the arrogant teacher, and with that knowledge he was not going to make it easy for everyone related to the sacred family, and so he decided to challenge the teacher by raising his hand in an excited manner. Teacher Senshu, I have some questions. Meanwhile, the teacher was thinking to herself that, it's the brat that has been coveting Yeziyun, has come looking for trouble himself, and then said, "What is your question?" Teacher Shen Shu, you mentioned that Glory City is the only city that has survived through the Age of Darkness, and that we are the only humans alive. Do you have any evidence supporting this? Has the teacher gone out of the saint's ancestral mountain before, and visited the endless desert, the toxic forest, the Blood Moon Marsh, the Spirit Gulf, the Heavenly Luster Mountain, and the Northern Snow? What Heavenly Luster Mountain? What Northern Snow? I've been in Glory City since birth. I have not gone to those places, said the teacher. Ha! Since teacher Shen Shu has never visited those places, how can you be so sure that we are the only humans surviving? Replied our boy. And his reply naturally angered the teacher while the other students were wondering about what Nie Li said, also sparking the interest of our Ye Ziyun, and the Shen Yue was still being annoyed at the sight of our MC, but he is not important at this moment, so let's move on. Then what evidence do you have to prove that we are not the only humans alive? Asked the teacher. Evidence? Let me tell you a story. There was once a frog who lived in the bottom of the well. Since his birth, he had always been in the well. Therefore, from the start, he could only see part of the sky, that it is only as big as the whole of the well. But is the sky only the size of the whole? He asked. So we say that the frog is viewing the sky from the bottom of the well. With that, his statement got every student laughing, as the analogy of viewing the sky from the bottom of the well is a good description, which also angered the teacher even further, as he is actually talking back to her, saying that she is viewing the sky from the well, and it is starting to get on her nerves. Meanwhile, Wifey was also amused by his words, saying that Ni Li is actually interesting, which was witnessed by our boy as he then winked her while smiling, which caught her off guard and quickly turned her head in embarrassment, while his friend Lu Piao was also giving him a thumbs up for actually publicly challenging the teacher and teasing Ye Ziyun. He then spoke once more. Teacher Shen Shu, I have another question. What question do you still have? Well, you said that a commoner will always be a commoner. Wasn't Lord Ye Mo a commoner when he was younger? Is the teacher unaware of this? That's right. Lord Ye Mo was a commoner, said the other students. which also sparked the interest of Du Zi, since himself was a commoner. However, the teacher trying to keep face made a comeback by saying, "In Glory City's 100-year history, Lord Ye Mo is the only one to have climbed to the peak. But didn't Teacher Shen Shu say it was impossible? Aren't you contradicting yourself now?" Hey, and pulling off a wide grin, he continued, "Lord Ye Mo is a prime example. Regardless of the origin, everyone's potential is limitless. Nothing is impossible if one is willing to climb," which took aback the teacher by his statement, also gaining the favor of Du Zi. However, the teacher was not going to give up so easily, and she said, "You smart-ass. Do you think putting things this way can change the harsh reality? You talk about Lord Yemo's glory, but not about those who tried to do the same, unable to even become a fighter. Nie Li, right? You can be considered an aristocrat family, since you do not know your place. Let me see what kind of talent you have," and then began opening up his information. She laughed a little and began reading out loud his talent, which was as follows. Nie Li, Red Soul Realm, current Soul Force 5, physical strength 21. With your talent, you can only reach bronze rank fighter in your lifetime. Wanting to be a demon spiritualist is simply impossible. You are inferior to even the weakest of commoners. No wonder you dared to speak this way. You are just trying to hide your low self-esteem. Psh! Such poor talent only fit to live in the lower classes of Glory City, remarked the waste Shen Yue, and continued in his head, "If it weren't for Ye Ziyun, I wouldn't be classmates with this trash." On the other hand, the teacher was still mocking our MC, saying with such talent, "Even within your family you wouldn't receive attention. Yet you acted so rampant, rude to your elders." However, this seems to make our hero even more angry, as he responded with a serious demeanor. "Teacher Shen Shu, you think that the soul realm decides a person's future? With that despicable character of yours, you will only defend the gifted and mock the mediocre. Yet here you stand preaching principles. You're just trying to cover your despicable character." "Silence," she yelled. "Who do you think you are? You dare to discredit your professor." However, our boy just responded that he feels ashamed having a teacher like her. Also in his head, he was thinking that he can guarantee that in this class there will be many commoners exceeding her expectations, obtaining unimaginable achievements. Then said out loud, instead of nurturing them patiently, "You used harsh words to demoralize them. You are not worthy to be a professor. I have a weak talent, so what? There will be a day when I will become a legend, ranked demon spiritualist like Lord Ye Mo, and marry the most beautiful woman in Glory City." And while saying that, our wifey caught the gaze of our boy, who was intending for exactly that, which made her turn away in embarrassment once more as she was blushing non-stop, meanwhile also annoying the waste man, Shen Yue. At the same time, the teacher then began to laugh. "Ha ha ha. This is the funniest joke I have ever heard. A Red Soul Realm actually said that he wants to become a legend, rank demon spiritualist, like Lord Yemo. Even when he was younger, Lord Yemo was tested to have amazing talent, having a Qian Soul Realm. You think success comes solely from hard work alone? Ridiculous. Rather than running your mouth here, why not start learning more earnestly?" However, our boy Nie Li just responded to her that he knows that his heart is full of contempt. "But one day I will shut your mouth with hard facts. Aptitude does not determine a person's worth. Using the weak to defeat the strong, to overcome heaven. We practitioners are already challenging the impossible by going against the heavens. Without a continuous fighting spirit, without the courage to turn the impossible possible, even possessing extraordinary talent is useless. Teacher Shen Shu, how about making a bet with me?" "What bet?" "We will bet that on the test coming in 2 months' time, I will be able to reach bronze rank demon spiritualist. If I fail to do so, I will quit this school. However, if I succeed, then you will resign. How about it?" which shocked everyone, but the teacher just laughed, saying that he talks big, thinking that he can raise his soul force from 5 to 100 in 2 months. However, Nie Li did not waver in his determination and only asked one question, which was whether the teacher would dare or not. And according to the teacher, if that was the case, then why would she not dare, and said again, "I do not believe an egoistic brat like you could achieve anything. Who do you think you are? Behaving so arrogantly, such rudeness towards your teacher. For the next 2 months you will stand at the back of the classroom while listening to lectures," and our boy, without hesitation, just stood up and headed to the back of the class and said, "Teacher Shen Xiu has agreed to the bet, so don't regret it later on." Regret? What a joke. "Don't come to me crying later on," said the teacher. The other classmates then began to ridicule our boy Nie Li, saying that the future legend-ranked demon spiritualist got punished standing. "Ha ha, he's afraid of withdrawing from school. Weren't you being egoistic just a while ago?" However, not everyone shared their views, as among the classmates there were real ones. As the first one to stand up for our boy Nie Li was none other than Du Zhe. As in his head he was thinking that Nie Li is a nobility, and yet was punished for speaking up for commoners like them. So how can he remain seated? So instead, he proudly stood right next to our boy Nie Li at the back of the class, and seeing that Nie Li just smiled happily. "Well, since you like standing, then you can stand there together," said the teacher. However, that wasn't the end of it, as Lu Piao also joined in the fun and stood next to Nie Li as well. Nie Li then laughed, "Ha ha ha." "Why are you here?" he asked, and Lu Piao just responded that sitting down is pretty boring, and he feels more relaxed standing up, can't I? And hearing that, Nie Li just laughed again, rubbing his nose, and said that it suited him, while also feeling very proudful. Seeing what was occurring, a few more people got very inspired, and one was saying, "This
guy, to speak up for us, he even made such a big bet." And another, "Nie Li seems like a reliable person." The last one also laughed, "Ha ha ha, I will support him till the end." And with that, in the next second, he gained 3 more supporters and 3 became 6. At the same time, in his heart, he said that with this bunch of brothers, things do not feel that bad.
Scene then shifts to the teacher once more, who is now continuing with the lesson, and according to her, the results of everyone's soul force test is out. Then began reading out loud among the students. "Ye Ziyun has a cyan soul realm with a soul force of 86. Shen Yue and Ninger both have a green soul realm and a soul force of 78, and they will all soon reach the 1-star bronze rank. Congratulations to them." The news naturally riled up all the other students. Being impressed by having a cyan soul realm and a soul force of 86, saying with that kind of talent, they might be able to reach legend rank in their lifetime. Wow. We actually have such talented individuals in our class. Meanwhile, Nie Li was busy thinking about Ninger, who was the first child of the Xiao family, one of the 7 noble families. Her soul force is only slightly beneath Ye Ziyun. Before Glory City fell, she already became a silver-ranked demon spiritualist. Together with Ye Ziyun, they became the generation's twin star, and in order to curry favor with one of the 3 major families, the Xiao family forced Xiao Ninger to marry into the sacred family and marry the waste man, Shen Yue's elder brother. However, she was unwilling, hence she left her family and went into the Saint Ancestral Mountain's Black Devil Forest and never came back. He then told himself that, given the chance, he will definitely help her. The teacher then shouted in the Fighter and Demon Spiritualist test in the next 2 months' time, she hopes that there will be a few more 1-star bronze rank spiritualists, as it will make both her and the Holy Orchid Institute very proud of them. On the other hand, Du Zhe then began explaining some stuff, and according to him, once a fighter's strength, Lord Demon Spiritualist's soul force reaches 100, they can be considered 1-star bronze rank. Achieving the minimum requirement is extremely difficult, and lots of people are unable to do so in their lifetime. Abilities to lift 100 pounds of rocks, breaking a tree the thickness of an arm with a single punch, considers you as a 1-star bronze rank fighter. As for demon spiritualists, it's much more difficult. Soul Force is divided into 7 different colors: red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, azure, and indigo. An average person would have a red soul realm, and wanting to become a demon spiritualist is deemed a practical impossibility for them. People with orange and yellow soul realm are more suited to training with Soul Force, and people with green or cyan soul realms are considered extraordinary talents. And as our boy Duze was still busy explaining, the other students were also discussing about the fact that the 3 people, mainly Ye Ziyun, the Wasteman Shen Yue, and Ninger, are the only ones that could accomplish becoming a 1-star bronze rank within a year, and at that time they would enter into an official fighter or demon spiritualist class. And as a member of the sacred family, since young, the Wasteman Shen Yue was provided with elixirs, allowing him to easily surpass his peers. It would definitely be easy for him to become a 1-star bronze rank, making them mock our boy Nie Li, a red soul realm, as he dared to make such an egoistic statement. Then teacher cut off all their chatter by informing them that those who claimed to be able to reach 1-star bronze rank in 2 months would be watched, as she wanted to see to what extent they can even reach. While intently looking at Nie Li and his new brothers, however, the mech, being the OG he is, was not even fazed, as he was very confident, telling himself that 2 months is still enough time to spare. After some time of waiting and listening, Lu Piao questioned our boy on whether he really liked Ye Ziyun, making our boy to confidently agree, causing Lu Piao to go silent for a bit, as he was not expecting Nie Li to be that serious about it, making him sigh, and continued to say that Ye Ziyun is a beauty indeed, and seeing that he is his brother, he will not fight with him on the matter. However, since he is also his brother now, he wanted to warn him about Ye Ziyun's identity, as it is too noble and not suitable to match. Duze also interjected in the conversation, as he was surprised by the topic, asking them if they could be more realistic, as Ye Ziyun is a super genius with a Cayenne soul realm, and soon she will be a 1-star bronze rank demon spiritualist. Also estimating that in 2 months' time, she will be able to enroll in the official demon spiritualist class. After that, her cultivation will definitely soar. Whether she remembers you or not is still the problem, and what I hate most is that you nobles are constantly thinking of chasing girls, not knowing how to work or train. Lu Piao then responded to his comments by first asking him what exactly he meant by saying that nobles constantly chasing after girls, saying he must be kidding, as he always been working hard at training every day, and at most he has only used half of his day thinking about girls, as if that was better, which made Duze even more dejected by his statement, asking himself what kind of people did he get himself involved with. The both of them continued blabbering, as Nie Li was just happily looking at them. Duze then turned to Nie Li and recommended him to give up on girls and focus on training instead. However, Nie Li just responded by telling him that he is very aware of everything, so Duze must not worry, as the things he does and want to do will definitely be accomplished. Hearing that, Duze just sighed and replied, "Fine, but no matter what he does, they will always support him," which made Nie Li shout with conviction, calling out Duze and Lu Piao, telling them that he will make both the strongest demon spiritualist. However, Lu Piao didn't share his determination, as he told him to forget it, as he only has a red soul realm with the support of his family's elixir. Becoming a fighter isn't an issue, but becoming a demon spiritualist is way too hard. "What's the use of becoming a fighter?" replied Duze. "The higher you climb, the harder it is to train, and a fighter cannot possibly match a demon spiritualist of the same rank. On the battlefield, a legend rank fighter isn't even worth a black gold rank demon spiritualist. You must know that demon spiritualists are powerful combat forces. There is no need to become a legend rank fighter," replied Lu Piao. "I would be satisfied if I reached even a gold rank fighter, which stunned Du Zi by his lack of determination. Red soul real? So what? Said our boy Nie Li. I also have a red soul realm, which made Du Zi ask Nie Li if it could be that he has some method to refine the soul force in order to raise their levels, making our boy Nie Li to just reply that they should just listen to him, and as long as they don't back down, they will become a powerful demon spiritualist. Back down? Never, replied Du Zi. Will it be hard? Asked Lu Piao. If I can become a demon spiritualist, then I wouldn't be beaten up by my dad all the time, ha ha ha. His statement naturally made Du Zi angry, asking him that he wants to become a demon spiritualist, and you are worried if it's hard. How could it not be? However, their small dispute was interrupted by Nie Li telling them that it was not hard, and they will just need a lot of money, which made Lu Piao wonder if he can become a demon spiritualist, he can afford to spend it all. And it will be solved as long as one has money? Then laughed, thinking it will be easy as he has saved up to 2,000 coins, which amounts to a commoner's family's expenses, which made Nie Li nervously say that what is 2,000 spirit coins going to do, as of course it is not enough. And they will need at least millions of spirit coins or even tens of millions of spirit coins, making the two open their mouth in shock at the amount mentioned, as in their heads, they know they would not see that much amount of money in their lifetime. We are then informed that Nie Li belongs to the Heavenly Marks family, a declining aristocratic family. The master of the house is a one-star, gold-rank demon spiritualist. The family's annual income is around 600,000 demon spirit coins. The family's annual expenses were very large. Just the expenses of the family's children's school fees amount to 300,000 demon spirit coins, along with various other expenses often made the family struggle to make ends meet. Left with no choice but to sell, some of the Heavenly Mark family still has the younger generation that are enrolled in the Holy Orchid Institute. Only outstanding members of the younger generation will allow the family to raise again. After all that, the school bell rang for the end of school, as many students ran out to the excitement of after school. Also, our main trio exiting the school grounds walked outside, where they were greeted by the busy market, with vendors everywhere as they were selling all kinds of items. And among them was one who caught the attention of every student, as he shouted out loud for everyone not to miss the important item he is selling, which caught the surrounding students' attention as they gathered towards the vendor who was busy advertising the new bronze rank armor with a snow wind pattern inscribed on it, edging them to take a closer look, leaving the students who were surrounding him feel mesmerized by the look of the item. As they continued to discuss that, the armor was truly incredible, as the wind pattern are really inscribed on it, leaving them impatient as they now wanted to know for how much the street vendor was willing to sell the item for, and the price that was given was 60,000 demon spirit coins. Good heavens, one complained. It's so expensive. The vendor was not going to relent as he made his case that the item is a bronze rank armor with a snow wind pattern inscribed on it, and the pattern was drawn by using the blood of a snow wind banshee. It was at its prime before being killed, and a snow wind banshee isn't easy to hunt. Their characteristics also made the gauntlet's attacking ability possible. It is definitely the most suitable armor for snow wind type fighters or demon spiritualists. Our main trio, who was passing by, were also surprised by the commotion caused by everyone, which led Lu Piao to complain about the fact that the bronze rank armor alone costs 60,000 demon spirit coins. As such, then wouldn't the silver rank and gold rank be even more expensive? And the fact that his allowance is only 500 demon spirit coins. However, Nie Li wasn't focusing too much on his complaints as swayed his head from left to right as if looking for something, which caused Lu Piao to wonder on what he was exactly looking for. And while his eyes were also wandering around, he spotted the crowd of students that were gathering around and seemed to also spot a familiar figure, which was the waste man Shen Yue, and not so very far, he also spotted our waifu Ye Ziyun, who was walking by looking very dazzling and cheerful, which was also soon noticed by our boy Nie Li and the waste man Shen Yue. And the waste man, being the waste, he has tried to impress the fiancé as he saw an opportunity to show off, and so he went forward to the street vendor who was selling the wind-type gauntlets and asked for him to wrap them up as he was lacking a bronze-rank gauntlets, which naturally excited the seller as he did what he was told, in a fast manner, and the ever-so-rich waste man. Shen Yue raised his hand as if to get something, and among his gingers was a ring that glowed brightly, and in the next second something came out it, which was the 60,000 demon spirit coins. And looking at everything happening, Lu Piao and Du Zi were shocked, as they were just staring at him blankly since they were lost for words, which caused the waste man Shen Yue to feel even more proud as every eyes were on him, leaving a smirk on his face, making Lu Piao and Du Zi more jealous. Du Zi then began explaining that the ring on the waste man's finger is an interspatial ring, and although it looks small, the space inside is huge, and it is usually kept somewhere in the body, saying that when the waste man Shen Yue bought the gauntlets earlier, he didn't even check and just stored it into his ring. "Tyrant!" yelled Lu Piao, easily forking out 60,000 demon spirit coins, and even having an interspatial ring. That is clearly a silver bullet attack, and I guess that might mean it's a way of showing off to girls, especially trying to impress our waifu Ye Ziyun. And now, feeling dejected, Du Zi told Nie Li that Shen Yue is handsome and rich, so what can he do to compete against him, telling him that it was better to give up now. However, our boy Nie Li just chuckled a bit at his statement, saying that Ye Ziyun will not fall for that kind of trick. We are then again informed that Nie Li knows that what Ye Ziyun wants the most right now is friendship, as in his previous life she always wanted to be friends with Xiaoninger, but their identities led them further apart instead. Fine. It seems she indeed doesn't care about money, which made him wonder what exactly is her family background. He then began to giggle as he was thinking inappropriate things, asking Nie Li if Ye Ziyun didn't actually like girls, right? Because if that is the case, then it's definitely over, which made Du Zi speechless, then laughed afterwards. Nie Li then informed them to all depart as he is starting his plan now, and then began giving instructions, telling Lu Piao to go buy 2 crossbows and 500 crossbow bolts. Then made a serious face and told him that the crossbows costs exactly 160 demon spirit coins. Each and bolts cost 30 demon spirit coins each. So he must not get cheated, and after he is done with everything, they will meet up at the school training grounds. While saying all this, Lu Piao was busy thinking to himself at whether Nie Li has ever bought crossbows and bolts before, as he was so clear on the price, while Noe Li was also busy thinking that since it was his plan, he should be the one buying them. However, his monthly allowance is on 50, so he cannot do so. They then separated as Lu Piao was going to purchase the weapons needed. Nie Li and Du Zi went around the market together as he told him that first they need to go purchase Blackpool grass, next a lower fusing agent, and also to find some zoysia grass, which they found outside around a small hill. Blackpool grass, zoysia grass, and lower fusing agent, what are you planning to do? Asked Du Zi. Hey. Blackpool grass has a paralysis effect, but it's very weak. It is generally used to smear on wounds as a pain reliever. As for zoysia grass, it is a very common weed, but no one has found a use for them yet. However, if used together with a fusing agent and Blackpool grass, it can greatly strengthen the paralysis effect of the Blackpool grass. How strong is the paralysis effect? Asked Du Zi once more. It doesn't have any effect on ordinary demon beasts. The effect is worse than low-grade paralysis agents. But have you realized that horned sheep never eat zoysia grass? Horned sheep? But before he said anything further, Nieli just told him that they should go, and while on the way, Duze couldn't help but ask Nieli on whether he was an alchemist, and before our boy could answer, we are given a backstory of how in Nieli's previous life, he only had limited knowledge of it, but Glory City's standards for alchemists were simply too low, and they can't even be considered real alchemists. Ni could look down on those so-called alchemists in Glory City, as when he was having his adventure around the continent, he entered the toxic forest, and the people there survived countless attacks from venomous demon beasts, and so those people are the ones that can be considered real alchemists. Then we are taken back to MC, who then later agreed to Duze's question. As compared to the alchemists of Glory City, then he could be considered one, which naturally amazed Duze, and as the sun was setting, we are then shown our boy Nieli was busy working his miracle in brewing the concoction, as now he was working on his 6th and finale bottle, which was enough for what they needed, and with that being the case, they needed to head to the training grounds, thinking that Lu Piao should be waiting for them. Shifting to the training grounds before one could enter was huge, giant doors that had a face of a demon beast, stunning Duze at how tall they are, and explained that the training grounds were established by the legend-ranked demon spiritualist Lord Ye Mo and the principal of the school, who is a black gold-ranked demon spiritualist, and while still talking, a leg of someone we knew suddenly appeared, and Duze, turning his head, told the guy he was even later than them. But after looking back, he was even more stunned and annoyed as Lu Piao was all geared up from head to toe, making Nieli shout in irritation that he only told him to get crossbows and arrows. "What?" "I finally managed to get this battle armor," replied Lu Piao. Nieli then began to explain that this place is specifically made for those below silver rank. Every year, experts in Glory City would capture some low-level demon beasts and place them in the training grounds. Students can hunt them for, obtaining fur, demon crystals, and various other beast materials. With their current strength, they will only hunt the horned sheep in the training grounds. Although they are herbivores, they still need to be careful. First, they should go to the guard post to confirm their student identity, and then they can enter. We are then taken to the training grounds inside a dense forest, where they found a horned sheep that was huffing and huffing, and in the next second it was shocked by a presence as it saw Lu Piao, who was peering from the bushes, making a blank and dumb face. Then information about the horned sheep popped up, telling us that the horned sheep is a herbivore's type low-level demon beast. They do not initiate attacks on people, but they do possess a bad temper. They are highly territorial. Once they detect trespassers, they will attack without hesitation. Seeing the horned sheep preparing for an attack, Lu Piao began to sweat heavily and in the next second ran for his life. Feeling scared, and in his head he was cursing at our boy Nieli as he actually made him bait, then began to scream out loud, "Oh my God! This horned sheep is so scary! Shoot it!" Shoot it quickly, while Nieli, also hiding in ambush with Duze, was busy scolding Lu Piao, as they all agreed that he would stand still, as he then explained the plan they had if Lu Piao had not moved. The horned sheep would just run into the trap, and a horned sheep running widely like that would have its leg fractured. Allowing them to take it down quickly, Duze, on the other hand, feeling impatient, took aim at the horned sheep, and since it didn't go according to plan, he took it upon himself to act. After feeling secure with the aim, he shot straight at it, and the arrow seemed to be heading towards its head. However, in the next second, with great reflexes, the horned sheep dodged it by swaying its head backwards, which stunned Duze for a bit. However, he did not stop and fired more arrows at it, which also missed. "Ah! You guys missed!" shouted Lu Piao. "You guys actually made this kind of mistake. I have really made the wrong friends." And as he looked back, He saw that the horned sheep seemed to now get serious, as red energy seemed to be surrounding it, which made Lu Piao panic even more, as the horned sheep seemed to be angry. Du Zi, on the other hand, who had shot all his arrows, was also panicking as he couldn't reload and turned to Nie Li, asking what they should do now. However, our boy Nie Li was in the zone, focusing intently on the target, waiting for an opportunity to present itself, and as the horned sheep was getting too close to Lu Piao, he saw the opening, and then shot the arrow without hesitation, hitting it on its thigh, as it immediately passed out cold. After the horned sheep passed out, Lu Piao wondered if the sheep was dead, never imagined that this drug would be so effective. Hey! What drug? This is a horned sheep that could defeat 2-star bronze fighters. This is the anesthetic drug we specially concocted for the horned sheep. Nie Li, do you know how dangerous it is to be the bait? Because of you, my butt was almost split open. If you hadn't run like that, the horned sheep would have fallen into the trap long ago. Ah, is that so? But Nie Li, your archery skill is really too awesome. You were actually able to shoot a running horned sheep from its blind spot. A normal person wouldn't have this kind of archery skill even if they trained for 10 years. I might have shown too much skill there. After all, I'm only 13 years old now. Is that so? Tidy up quickly. We don't want anything other than the horns, the fur on the neck, the demon crystal, and the demon spirit. Just this pair of horns can already be sold for 5 demon spirit coins. The fur on its neck can be sold for 3 demon spirit coins, while the demon crystal can be sold for 5 demon spirit coins. Meanwhile, the time we took to kill one horned sheep was no more than the time it takes to brew a pot of tea. If we calculate it this way, if we continuously hunt horned sheep, we'll be able to get over 1,000 demon spirit coins in one day. I'll be able to pay for my own school fees. The large debt that my family took on for me to enter school can also be paid off completely. We have to be a little bit faster. There'll be no sleeping tonight. For those like us who have been cultivating since we were young, even if we haven't reached the level of bronze rank fighters, pulling a few all-nighters is easy. Hold that. With that, they continued to hunt down the sheeps throughout the night, and they managed to collect huge profits, exchanging the material to the plunder purchase counter shop. Another one down. They got so carried away until sunrise. It's almost dawn. Let's go. We hunted a total of over 120 horned sheep last night, and the spoils were sold for over 1,400 demon spirit coins, so we'll get over 400 demon spirit coins each. In the next 7 days, the 3 of them lived a life of hunting horned sheep in the training grounds at night, while returning to the Holy Orchid Institute to attend lessons in the day. However, during classes, our trio were very exhausted and were not even focusing. The students also began discussing. Hey, have you realized? There seem to be much fewer horned sheep in the training grounds lately. It couldn't be that a spotted tiger or something like that entered the grounds, right? I heard that the Institute dispatched teachers to investigate, but didn't discover anything. It's really strange. Day 8, midnight. Over these few days, we have earned over 16,000 demon spirit coins, a really huge amount. We can do a lot of things now. Nie Li, I'm really sleepy. We've worked for 7 days already. I'll go catch a short nap. I also want to sleep for a while. Yawns. You guys look for a safe place to sleep first. There's no need to come tomorrow. I have other plans. Stands up. With that, both Lu Piao and Du Zi went up the tree. Hup! Wait up! I can finally have a nice long sleep. Nie Li, on the other hand, had other plans as he planned to stroll around. I'll go explore further in. Maybe I'll run into something interesting. Hearing a faint sound, he wondered. Is there something there? It's a human? Who else would come into the training ground so late at night? Let's take a look. Is there a clearing here? This cyan light. It's soul force. This light. This person should be entering bronze rank soon. Huh? Zhao Ninger? We are then taken back to Nie Li's past as old Lu Piao was discussing with the past Nie Li. Hey, Nie Li, did you hear? Xiao Ninger has returned to the Institute and has also been assigned to our bronze class. Xiao Ninger? That Xiao Ninger who was in the same class as us last time? 3 years ago, she left the school after having just reached the 1-star bronze rank. Apparently, she fell seriously ill. After being sick for 2 years, her cultivation also deteriorated, and it's said that she was plagued by sickness and pain afterwards as well. I didn't think that she would train herself back up again. Yeah, what a determined girl. Hey, this is fate as well. She's known as one of the 2 beautiful twin stars of our generation of newcomers. Stop dreaming, idiot. She was already betrothed to Shen Fei of the sacred family long ago. Xiao Ninger's winged dragon family has always wanted to curry favor with the sacred family. That playboy Shen Fei? Yeah. On what basis? Aren't you also in the bronze class just like me? You'd better spend your time thinking about how to become strong instead. Duze has already entered the silver class. You burden. Now back to the young Nie Li, who was thinking she is still cultivating her soul energy at this time. She's indeed hard-working. That also means that illness of hers is about to befall her. In this life, since I already know about it, there's no way I'm going to ignore it. If she continues cultivating in this way, she'll be taking her own life for granted. So with that, he decided to appear before her, which naturally startled her. Who? And seeing him, she lowered her guard a bit. Ho, ho, ho! Hold it! Let's talk this over. Keep the blade away first. You're Nie Li from our class? What are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here in the middle of the night? I'm cultivating my soul energy. Ha ha. I'm just taking a walk. Stop lying. Don't think I don't know that you all have been continuously hunting horned sheep these last few days. Ah, so you already knew long ago. Then why did you still ask? Women. Are they all such troublesome creatures? Making a weird face? He thought about Ye Ziyun. Hey. I'm going to continue cultivating. Turns. Ah. I'll be on my way. Sizing her up. Ogling me like that, how vulgar. You're still not leaving? However, my guy was not being a pervert as he was looking at her injuries. Do your feet feel hot like they're burning every time night falls? How do you know? I know even more. Although your feet are boiling hot, your body is extremely cold. Every time it hits midnight, you suffer greatly, like you've descended into a chamber of ice. Even when you try to cultivate, you can't muster the strength to do so. Isn't that so? Looks like this is indeed the syndrome of extreme coldness. You have often cultivated at night, which has led to cold yin energy entering your body, clogging up your meridians. Further, your constitution is already one that's extremely cold. If you cultivate to bronze rank, at best, you'll be bedridden and experience a great reduction in your cultivation. At worst, your body will explode and you'll die. Presumably, by now, multiple bruises will have appeared on your body, causing unbearable pain and persisting for long durations. And they would also have spread further as your cultivation increased, grips tightly. I spent so much effort. In order not to be married off to someone like Shen Fei, in order to take control of my own destiny, I cultivated like crazy, ceaselessly trying to become stronger. I spent so much effort and was about to reach the 1-star bronze rank. And you're telling me that my cultivation will disperse, and I'll die from my body exploding. Nie Li, you know what's afflicting me, so you must have some way to cure it, right? Can you... Crying, she finally let it out. Can you help me? The extreme coldness syndrome. It's recorded in the library of the Holy Orchid Institute and isn't some incurable disease. Really? How? Can it be cured? It must be treated using a massage based on a special redirection technique which warms the meridians and dispels the bruises, while consuming a medicine made from golden thread grass and heavenly bell grass every day. With your current condition, you should be able to recover in about a month's time. A redirection technique? Most importantly, you must guarantee that you will no longer cultivate your soul energy in the middle of the night. That's right. Let me take a look at your soul cultivation technique. Eh? Nie Li, he shouldn't be trying to trick me. Okay. After some contemplation, she then handed it out to him. While handing it over, their hands also accidentally touched, which made her extremely blush, withdrawing her hand immediately. However, our boy was not so focused on that and began evaluating. A major family like this, yet even the descendants of their main family line are actually practicing this sort of low-level cultivation technique. No wonder Glory City fell in the end. What did you say? Hey, it's nothing. This soul cultivation technique is really too lousy. Someone practicing this will inevitably damage their meridians. The fact that you have been afflicted by the extreme coldness syndrome has a lot to do with this technique. Replace this phrase of connecting the heart and eye with connecting the heart and mind. Rephrase this part with, when the will and spirit merge, the heart and mind will connect. Wandi, talking, non-stop. In her mind, she was thinking, this is a technique handed down from our ancestors. It's also ranked 6th amongst all the soul cultivation techniques that our family possesses. He's actually saying to change it just like that? Talking non-stop. Changing it like that should just about do it. Eh? Why are you giving me that kind of look? Surprised, she uttered. Hold on, Nie Li, can you say all that again? I'll note down everything you say. Yeah, looks like you really weren't listening. I'll say it one more time then, so listen carefully this time. As to Nie Li's amendments to the cultivation technique Xiaoninger, replace this phrase of connecting the heart and eye with connecting the heart and mind as I thought. What he's saying, when the will and spirit merges, the heart and mind will connect. I can't understand a word of it. However, from the perspective of a practitioner, redirecting one's soul energy according to his amendments is indeed much more logical. Compared to the knowledge I've previously learnt about soul energy, these amendments are much more profound. How deep would one's knowledge of soul energy need to be before one can amend a high-level cultivation technique like this? Probably not even the family patriarch can do so. How laughable. I've been seeing him as a useless burden all this time. Perhaps his understanding of cultivation has already exceeded that of a black gold rank demon spiritualist. He's only the same age as me. Yet the gap between me and him is actually so big. The way that the lecturers and classmates have mocked Nie Li looks so laughable now. Nie Li, he will definitely become a legend-rank demon spiritualist, the most beautiful woman. Hey, I'm done talking. What are you thinking about? Don't tell me you weren't listening again? I wasn't thinking of anything. Do you know the redirection technique? Well, I do. But the redirection technique requires one to massage the bruised area. It seems a little inappropriate for me to do it. Blushing, she replied, I don't mind. You're just helping to cure my sickness, aren't you? I don't want to become a cripple. All right, then. Keep this scroll first. From now on, I'll use the redirection technique to treat you once every 3 days. If you go back and consume the medications according to my instructions, I believe that you'll recover soon enough. That's right. Where are your bruises? Pointing at her feet, she replied. There's one here. It's this serious. Luckily, it's on the top of your foot. If it were somewhere else, that wouldn't be too convenient. If it's on the top of the foot, I'll be done in a short while. Sit down. With that, Nie Li activated his spiritual energy to begin the healing. And looking at her, he wondered, Is she embarrassed? Indeed, girls at the age of 13 or 14 tend to think too much to clear things up, he informed her. Don't be mistaken. I'm just helping to cure your illness. The one I like is Ye Ziyun. I'm happy to have made your acquaintance, and I hope that we can become friends. Press. After the little touch, she let out a moan. The first time will hurt a bit, please bear with it. But looking at her expression, he became speechless. Lowers head, as expected of a beauty spoken of in the same breath as Ye Ziyun, only 13 years old, and she's already exhibiting the potential to create trouble. The intense pain has subsided quite a bit. Now it feels itchy, as though hundreds of ants were crawling around inside. The bruises appeared 6 or 7 months ago and would generate heart-piercing pain every now and then. I was able to bear the pain through my own force of will, but heaven knows just how hard it was to suffer through this interminable pain. After this short massage, the intense pain has already been greatly lessened. Thank you, Nie Li, it's done. For a while after this, there may still be slivers of pain which remain. Focus on recuperating, and there shouldn't be any major problems. Thank you. Moments later, she became silent, as if that was not the end of it, which made her blush profusely. Eh? What is it? I still have another bruise located elsewhere. Nie Li, can you help me to massage it as well? There's another spot? That's true. If it were just the one spot on the foot. In my previous life, she also wouldn't have been bedridden for 2 whole years. Where is it? It's at, if it's not convenient. Nie Li, you said that you like Ye Ziyun? Yeah. Is that so? Then does Ye Ziyun like you? Shakes head. She will come to like me. Haha. So it's actually a one-sided romance. Why does he have such confidence? It looks like everyone has yet to discover Nie Li's talent. One of these days, his ability will shine through. Perhaps then, even a talented elite like Ye Ziyun will be subdued by him. If my illness continues to be left untreated, I will definitely be left behind by the geniuses amongst my peers. Those who are ill should not avoid treatment. If it's Nie Li who's treating me, it's also not something unacceptable. Trembling, after that she nervously undressed her top slowly, which obviously caught our boy off guard, and shouted in embarrassment. Ah! At this point his face was like a tomato. She finally then showed us her ample bosom. Isn't it inappropriate? I'm actually a decent guy. Trembles. Glare. For the purpose of giving treatment to heal someone, I can't worry about too many things. Gulp. Chest ribs. The color is much deeper in comparison to the one on the top part of the foot. A young girl who is only in her early teens. How is she able to tolerate such pain and suffering? This is the first time since young for Xiao Ninger to experience a guy coming into intimate contact with her body. Cold family members, the torture from illness, even if Xiao Ninger is strong, will unavoidably feel lonely and helpless. Nie Li at the present moment makes her have the feeling of wanting to depend on someone else. Phew. Done. Thank you. Have a good rest for the next few days. The pain should be relieved a lot. I will massage you once every 3 days. The root of the problem will be resolved very quickly after a few times. Do not practice the demon spirit skill at night before reaching the green-bronze level. Absorbing too much of the moonlight essence, if you are unable to adjust, can cause serious repercussions. I should get going. Gets up. Thank you so much, Nie Li. If it's not for you, I really don't know how bad the situation will become if I continue practicing like this. Nie Li, you have helped me. If you need my help in future, I will definitely go all out to help. Ah, if I need help, I will look for you. Za. Nie Li, what kind of person are you? The scene then shifts to the next day at the school. which was heavily noisy. Ah, today is Instructor Shen Shu's class. It's standing punishment again. Every class talks about things that happened between those nobles. I'm finished. I didn't learn a thing. Wait till the test coming up in 2 months and Nie Li achieves the green bronze star level 1, then he can skip her class forever. In the short pan of a few days, he has led us to earn 16,000. I will believe in whatever he does. What a joke. To upgrade to green bronze star level 1 within 2 months, if this kind of talentless trash can do it. Isn't the sun going to rise from the west? Ha ha. Hey, what are you playing? Let me see. Ha ha. If you can grab it, then I will give it to you. Nie Li, if we don't go hunting goats, what to do next? Meanwhile, our boy was just thinking about how to get close to Ye Ziyun. Ha ha ha. Hey, daydreaming? I told you'd find out after school. And to make her like me, what the hell? Is a farting silver worm, ha ha. So smelly. Stands. Nie Li, let's play together. Get lost. Play by yourself. On the other hand, while everyone was being all noisy, the beauty Xiao Ninger stood up to go somewhere, which grabbed everyone's attention. Is Xiao Ninger headed towards Nie Li's direction? Nie Li, this scum, did he antagonize Xiao Ninger? Haha, Nie Li, this fella Meanwhile, our waifu was also wondering, did Nie Li tease Xiao Ninger? Really, this type of lecher really should be punished. How do you all think Xiao Ninger will punish Nie Li? She then stopped at Nie Li's table, making everyone tense. Standing his 2 friends behind him were thinking, hey, what to do if Xiao Ninger beats Nie Li up? The 3 of us aren't her match. Helping out is a must. Observe the situation first. This Nie Li, causing trouble everywhere, dared to antagonize her. I'll do a temporary retreat to observe what she wants to do. Nie Li's spirit soul power is only 5. Guess he will be thrown out. Xiao Ninger? Hi. What's the matter? Recalling last night's events is still a little awkward, breaking the tension she uttered. This is the breakfast that I have made. Ah? Why are you standing at my place, you bastard? I have no idea what kinds of food you like, so I made a few more types. She's opening with the breakfast attack? Humph. Breakfast? With that, silence permeated the whole class, as the shock was too much to handle. Am I still asleep? There's no pain. It's indeed a dream. Ah ha 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 ah. No, it's not. Goddess Xiao actually delivered breakfast for that piece of trash Nie Li. Is it because he talked back to the lecturer and was made to stand as punishment? I also want to talk back to the lecturer. That's not it. What's happening? How is it that Xiao Ninger has actually taken a liking to Nie Li and has actually taken the initiative to show her affection? She should already be engaged to elder brother, thought the waste man. Also, the waifu thinking. That's strange. Why would she take the initiative to show her affection for a boy with no achievement to his name? Xiao Ninger then asked, Can I sit down and eat together with you? Dutze, please don't sit on me. Can I? Say yes, say yes, say yes. All right, say yes, say yes. With an elegant demeanor, she sat down and opened up her wonderful lunchbox, which seemed to glow. Wah! Lu Piao Duze, come eat with us as well. Ah, can I? Goddess Ninger actually said my name out loud. Sob. I'm just going to go ahead and share Nie Li's glory then. Heh heh. Oi, use chopsticks. With that, they all happily chatted and laughed together until she left. You little rascal! When did you hit up our goddess Ninger? Spill the beans. I didn't. We're just ordinary friends. Cheh, who'd believe that? Heh, an ordinary friend would deliver breakfast. To you? Maybe there's something she wants my help for. Enough nonsense, class is starting, it's time to stand at the back. Shen Shu seems to be in a good mood. You lot, return to your seats and listen to the lesson. There are VIPs coming today to observe the lesson after all. We actually don't need to stand today. Maybe something happy came up. As the lesson was about to begin, 3 masters appeared from behind the class to inspect in secret. One thinking that the beginner class seats were really small. Is it another method thought up to trick us? No, no. You are the only one antagonizing her. Today we will talk about inscriptions. Whether becoming a practitioner or demon spiritualist, inscriptions are very important. They are divided into 2 types, device inscriptions and battle inscriptions. Device inscriptions are embedded onto equipment and will greatly enhance it, increasing the user's prowess, especially for a demon spiritualist. Using high-level inscription, embedded armor, and weaponry will enable them to exhibit powers beyond their limitations. Battle inscriptions are etched onto scrolls for casting. Utilizing spirit soul power to activate the scroll, one is able to generate explosive combat prowess. Inscriptions are the accumulation of our ancestors' wisdom. They started circulating from the time of the Snow Wind Empire, perfected over the passing of 1,000 years. However, in the Dark Ages, human civilization suffered a catastrophe due to the hunting of demons and beasts. Currently, Glory City has only inherited a small portion of the inscriptions. Inscriptions are classified into 3 types: Snow Wind inscriptions, Sacred Fire inscriptions, and Battle Edge inscriptions. The difference is in their natures of wind, snow, fire, or non-elemental. We will first talk about device inscriptions. Descendants from the sacred family possess quite profound knowledge. Instructing this group of kids is more than adequate. Holy Orchid Institute Vice Principal Yi Sheng. There are a few students who are not bad at all, such as Ye Ziyun or Shen Yue and Xiao Ninger. Holy Orchid Institute Vice Instructor Lu Ye. What's your view? Who is this elder? Actually indifferent towards Vice Principal Ye Sheng? Can it be that he is a VIP even higher ranked than the principal? We'll start with the Sacred Fire inscription. In the Sacred Fire inscription research, the Sacred Family is acclaimed to be the leader. It has a total of 66 basic inscriptions. Take this one, for example, Scarlet Flame Explosion Inscription. This is a Scarlet Flame Explosion inscription, which is the creation of the first generation of the Sacred Family and is the most powerful green bronze inscription. This inscription is formulated from the 36 basic foundation inscriptions and is the most complex among the green bronze inscriptions. Next, we will talk about the 36 basic foundation inscriptions. Knowing more, our boy just sighed. The Sacred Fire basic inscription has over 600 types. Nie Li, in his previous life, wandered the continent, is fluent in 7 languages, gained a century's worth of experience while practicing in the demon spirit book's temporal space, and has gathered knowledge from reading the classics. Such achievements are not something which Shen Shu and her family can compare with. I have not slept for the past 7 days. I'll rest for a little while. This boy, daring to sleep just after class begins. He is embarrassing our Holy Orchid Institute. Luckily, this gentleman didn't comment. Apprentice introductory classes will inevitably have a mix of talents and delinquents. I'll teach this student a good lesson after I return. Their parents paid so much for them to attend this institute, it is not for them to sleep in class. Nods. Witnessing Nie Li sleeping, the teacher got annoyed, thinking, Nie Li, you again, totally disregarding me. I have a VIP sitting here and you actually dare to sleep during class. Then shouted out his name. Nie Li, what do you want? Ha. Nie Li is doomed this time, daring to sleep in my class. You understand everything already? Yes. Ah, fine. Then tell me about the inscription up here. After squinting, he then explained. This is a low-level fire class inscription, which can reluctantly be counted as a green bronze grade, formed from the 38 Methods Foundation inscription. Its power is very low, but can still be used to boil water. Hearing that, everyone laughed. Ha 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 ha. So hilarious. He didn't listen at all. It's clearly from the 36 Methods Foundation. The scarlet flame explosion inscription is used to boil water. Ha 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 ha. The waste man was even angered. To say that my clan's passed down green bronze inscription is used to boil water, Nieli is actually very talented. Why does he hide it and act dumb? Ha! So funny. It's not funny. The red blaze scorching explosion inscription stems from the 36 Methods Foundation inscription. However, referencing your understanding of the inscription to say that it is 38 methods is also not wrong. But trying to please the crowd. After achieving a certain level towards inscription research, one may discover that in the scarlet flame explosion, the two inscriptions are in fact composed of another two basic method inscriptions. How can this student tell? Was it a random guess? However, Ni Li did not let it all affect him and explained. This method inscription originates from the Book of Divine Lightning Fire Volume 7, and the original name should be Lightning Flame Burst Inscription. Comprising of 60 method inscriptions, it is considered to be somewhat complex. However, some fool cut out the lightning-related portion, randomly changed a few things, resulting in this nondescript scarlet flame explosion inscription. The move is literally ineffective in battle and is only fit for sacred fire inscription practitioners to use for practice. Book of Divine Lightning Fire? What's that? Nonsense. There is no such scripture known as the Book of Divine Lightning Fire. Instructor Shen Xiu must be very well educated. According to her, books that haven't been read don't exist. Book of Divine Lightning Fire? I borrowed this book from the library. I have it here. This is a copy, with only the first volume translated. The rest of it is written in the Snow Wind Empire's language. I set it aside, as I was unable to decipher it to the point where I just forgot about it. Ye Sheng, send someone to the library to retrieve a copy of the Book of Divine Lightning Fire. Stare. Right away. Let me see. Book of Divine Lightning Fire Volume 7. Volume 7. Too many diagrams, and I don't understand the Snowwind Empire's ancient language. So hard to find. I guess that you happen to have seen the book in a corner of the library and didn't understand what was written, then claimed that the scarlet flame explosion came from this book. You ridiculous, arrogant kid. We can't allow our sacred family ancestors to be slandered. If you are unable to find the inscription, I will go to the sacred committee myself to report that you have insulted the ancestors. Instructor Shen Xiu, isn't it a bit too early to say something like that? Yuan Jiao, please turn to Volume 7, page 30. Ah, take a look at Diagram 6 on that page. Instructor Shen Xiu, this Book of Divine Lightning Fire is much older compared to your first-generation sacred family, right? Sacred family. Fame seekers. They've always lived under the claim of being the sacred god inscription inheritors, always talking about how outstanding and talented their ancestors were, creating inscriptions and saving Glory City from misery. In my previous life, before Glory City was defeated, all the families fought for Glory City, only your sacred family, in order to Savet's strength, had arranged for all the strong family members to hide in the Patriarch Mountains. This had caused the West Gate, which was guarded by the sacred family, to be broken through easily. Snow wind monsters marched right through, indiscriminately slaughtering everyone. The survivors were forced to abandon their hometown. Traitor, I will let the people of Glory City see the true colors of this noble family. Page 30, Diagram 6. Wow! It's the same as what Nai Li said. Nai Li is purposely slandering our sacred family. Getting angry? Sacred family members are really all the same, never looking at themselves for answers. Perhaps my first-generation household head referenced it from somewhere, so what about it? Haha. Seems like Professor Shen Xiu isn't too familiar with the demon spiritualist regulations. Do you need me to tell you? Demon spiritualist regulations, as standards for the demon spiritualist code of conduct, have been passed down for more than 3 centuries. Almost every demon spiritualist will abide by these regulations. Demon Spiritualist Regulation number 101. If sectioning or copying the inscription from other demon spiritualists, one must cite the source accordingly and should not claim the inscription to be self-created. You, if it's only referencing. To learn the good points from the lightning flame inscription in order to create inscriptions is one thing, but the first-generation household head of the sacred family directly ripped half the inscription, announcing that it is self-created. This is too yikes. To criticize an ancestor, sinful. Sinful. Unless the first-generation household head of the sacred family had reasons he couldn't reveal. The first-generation household head of the sacred family was really like that. Reportedly, the first-generation household head of the sacred family is only a gold-ranked demon spiritualist, but is a master when it comes to inscriptions. The sacred family has always been called the inheritor of the sacred fire inscription. Now it looks like the Scarlet Flame explosion inscription is clearly copied from the classics. I've flipped through the Snowwind inscription contents, and there are many inscriptions which are copied or sectioned from the classics, but they always cite an external source and never claim to be self-created. This is the demon spiritualist's code of conduct. Any noble demon spiritualist would do the same. Nieli, our sacred family has lived for over 3 centuries and is one of the top 3 families standing at the summit of Glory City. It is not for you, the child of an ordinary family, to slander. This Scarlet Flame explosion inscription is written in the notes of the first-generation household head. When we, the descendants, discovered it after tidying the notes, we must have mistook it as the first-generation household head's creation, which is very common. As expected of the sacred family, speaking with a forked tongue while even finding an excuse to push away all responsibility. Things aren't looking good. In my previous life, that guy was about to get engaged to Ye Ziyun, yet immediately fled during the attacks by the Snowwind monsters, going as far as to say he is from a prominent family and that I'm from an ordinary family. Clearly, he is using it as a threat. Student Shen Yue is so overbearing. Fortunately, Glory City has strict laws. Or else I really worry that the sacred family will make me as one of the prominent families. Won't the sacred family ensure my safety? Or else if something happens to me, I'm afraid it will be a stain left on the sacred family. After saying all that, he flashed an annoying smile at his opponent, making Shen Yue even more and more irritable, saying our boy was detestable. All the teasing even made Yazun and Xiaoninger laugh a bit, and returning back from an errand, the other elder brought back the Book of Divine Lightning Fire, creating heavy tension as the silent elder opened the book. Looking at his gloomy face, the principal thought to himself that copying is quite a great scandal for the sacred family. Looking at the contents in the book, the elder thought, "This book is written in an ancient language. I only understand fragments." He then asked, "How talented is Nili? Me just checked the student records. Nili only has a red soul realm. Such a pity. So knowledgeable, yet such poor aptitude. Otherwise, he would have had a bright future ahead of him, Ye Sheng. Arrange the position of collection deacon for him." "Yes," confirmed the principal, as he then thought deeply. "The Lord intends to protect Nieli?" Presently, the people of Glory City all emphasize their personal skills and practice. Yet there are not many that can settle down to research the ancient classics. Although Nieli's talent is very poor, he possesses profound knowledge, even being able to decipher the Book of Divine Lightning Fire. Being the collection deacon will allow him to research many more of the classics. At the same time, working at the Holy Orchid Institute will prevent the sacred family from easily causing trouble for him. The teacher, angered, told our boy that she would remember what happened today, However, our boy was not in the slightest afraid of her threats. Huh. A professor actually threatening their student publicly in class. What a joke, he thought. No need for you to find me. I'll come to you. I can't antagonize the sacred family too much yet. I'm still too weak. After class ended, it could be seen that the students were hyped by the incident that happened in class. Have you heard there's a guy in the practitioner beginner class that discovered the sacred family's scarlet flame explosion inscription is copied? Their instructor was even talking about the inscription during class. Face swollen. There were rumors that the sacred family head was rejected by the city lord when they went to pay a visit. Hearing all that, our boy Nie Li was proud of himself. Ha ha. Seems like the wedding engagement between Shen Yue and Ye Ziyun is called off. Scene then shifts to the teacher who rushed to the vice principal Ye Sheng in anger, wanting to complain about our boy. Nie Li is disrespectful and publicly talks back to the instructor during class. It is really extremely rude. I request Vice Principal Ye Sheng to have him expelled. Hearing that the vice could on think first saying how with Nie Li's knowledge, even if he is unable to become a demon spiritualist, he may become a distinguished guest. Furthermore, Nie Li has gotten the recognition of that VIP. But Shen Shu is a member of the sacred family. I still must show respect. He then spoke out. Let me consider this matter further. After all, to have a student quit school will leave quite a large impact. Vice Principal, what is there to consider? I request for Nie Li to be expelled, or else I won't be able to continue teaching this class. This Shen Shu doesn't know when to back off, he thought, then chuckled. Hehehe. In that case, why don't I arrange for you to teach other classes? Bloody old man. This means he is protecting Nie Li, she thought, then continued. That is not necessary. This matter is over. The apprentice exam will be in 2 months, if Nie Li ranks in the bottom 3 of the apprentice student class. She then thought that in accordance to the Holy Orchid Institute regulations, he should be expelled. Oh? Ho ho, that's no problem at all, replied the vice. And after she left in a hump, the vice was left thinking on how Shen Shu banking on the fact that she's a member of the sacred family is too overbearing. Seems that with his knowledge, Nie Li won't end up ranked in the bottom 3, and even if he did, the Lord would surely make a move to recruit Nie Li. Shifting to the library, we are informed about how Nie Li accepted the Holy Orchid Institute's employment offer and became the library's collection deacon. There's practically nothing to be done, and still, he gets a monthly salary of 300 demon spirit coins. Worried Du Zhe wondered out loud that Nie Li had offended the sacred family. Isn't that a bad thing? Who cares, as long as we are happy, replied Lu Piao. Unafraid as always, our boy told them that he had something in mind, telling them they can skip class for the next few days, guessing Shen Shu will look forward to it. Jiang Ming, Zhu Yujun, Wei Nan. The 3 other students who got punished and stood at the back of class together with Nie Li's group, although possessing only Red Soul Realm, are passionate people, and they perished together with Du Zhe in the final battle of the previous Glory City. Although they were not close with Nie Li in his previous life, these are all trustworthy brothers. Our boy then informed them that he had bought 6 sets of beginner's soul crystals. Next, I want to test your nature. A nature's test? Didn't we do that already when we started school? My test is different. An unused soul crystal is the most sensitive if used to test a person's soul realm and will be extremely accurate. Once 2 or more people repeatedly use the same piece of beginner's soul crystal, the soul crystal will become distorted and can only be able to test a person's soul, realm grade, and soul power strength. Other than testing for the soul realm grade and soul power strength, what else can be tested? Asked Lu Piao. The form of one's soul realm, as well as their soul realm attributes. he replied back, leaving them confused. What does that mean? Everyone take one soul crystal first. You should keep it close to your body. This soul crystal can be used for soul power below 500. After exceeding a soul power of 500, an intermediate crystal should be used. As he was also handing out the crystals to the other three, they felt shy accepting. Ah, this soul crystal costs more than 1,000 demon spirit coins. How could we accept such an expensive item? I agree. We cannot accept such a gift. You can keep it as it is given by Nie Li, unless you don't see us as brothers, asked Du Zhe. When you put it like that, thanks, Nie Li. Nie Li, you will be our big brother from now on. Just let us know if you need anything done. With you guys as my brothers, things will get done much faster. Nie Li smiled back at them. Du Zhe, you will take the test first. It will be the same as when we started school. Holding the clear crystal in his hand, he poured all his soul energy in it as it began glowing yellow. Du Zhe, you've improved very quickly, already reaching 52 soul power, exclaimed Lu Piao, and, looking closely, Nie Li informed him that he possessed the lightning fire attribute. On top of that, your soul realm is the heavenly thundercloud form. No wonder Du Zhe's practice speed was so much faster compared to the other brothers in my previous life, he thought. The heavenly thundercloud form plus the lighting fire type talent is simply a perfect match. Too bad in my previous life, Du Zhe practiced the sacred fire inscription. To have reached gold level 1 was already pushing his limits. Breaking his thought, Du Zhe asked, what is the lightning fire type and the heavenly thundercloud form? Red, orange, yellow, green, indigo, blue, purple. These 7 types of soul realm colors represent every person's unique character and talent. Some soul realms are easier to practice than others, but that is not to say that a red soul realm is useless. As long as we can find suitable techniques, even if the person has a red soul realm, one can display explosive power. Those who insist on classifying soul realm talent into levels are a bunch of idiots. The legendary warriors who created Glory City are all idiots? The others wondered. Our boy then continued. Du Zhe's yellow soul sea belongs to the lightning fire category, and the heavenly thundercloud soul sea is most effective when combined with fire-type techniques and inscriptions. The Tianlin demon beast is the most suitable demon spirit. If these conditions are fulfilled, the potential that could be attained will be shocking. However, if other inscriptions are practiced, one's growth will begin to slow. Too bad Glory City's lightning fire techniques are incomplete. Even if it is recorded in the classics, they are all written in the ancient languages, lamented Du Zhe. Ah, that's right. There is Nie Li. Nie Li can even understand the library's book of divine lightning fire, he thought, then asked. Nie Li, you talked about the book of divine lightning fire during class. Do you know about other lightning fire techniques? Haha. Of course. There's nothing to worry about with me around. I've memorized the 69 chapters of the Book of Divine Lightning Fire, and all of the techniques are very strong. He then thought to himself, Heavenly Scarlet Lightning Technique? No. This technique is too potent, and it's very easy to disrupt one's flow of energy after practicing it. Then the Heavenly Killing Technique? This set of techniques is suitable for Du Zhe's attribute. However, the Heavenly Killing Technique includes techniques which even its creator had never practiced. There seems to be no issue with the first 9 levels from the looks of the formula, but the last 3 levels. He then instructed Du Zhe. You'll learn the Heavenly Killing Technique. From what I know, this is one of the top 3 lightning fire techniques. I'll teach you the formula and practice it from now on. I'll also find time to write it down for you. Achieving level 9 of these techniques is very powerful as it is. As for how Du Zhe will achieve the remaining 3 levels, will have to depend on his fate, he thought. He then chanted the mantra for Du Zhe, who immediately memorized it. As he cultivated according to the mantra, blue energy started surging throughout his body, creating a gust of wind. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Feeling the power of the technique, he was surprised. Wow, such a strong technique. Simply chanting the formula silently has actually activated my soul realm. My soul power has started to increase. I can feel it. In the next few days, I will write down the detailed technique of each level for you, responded Nie Li, and hearing that he was finally happy and hopeful. It's possible! I can do it! I can change the fate of my clan and my parents. If I intensely practice the Tianlin tactics, I can change their destinies. After that, he even teared up a little as he made a vow. The favor of gifting me with the Tianlin tactics. I'll remember it forever. If Nie Li has any use for me in the future, even if my life will be at stake, if I, Du Zhe, hesitate for one moment, let me suffer heaven's retribution. Don't say that. We're brothers. Nie Li reassured him. It's just a technique. Lu Piao then interjected. Listening to your conversation is giving me goosebumps. Brothers must share both fortune and woe together. Nie Li, I only have a red soul C. Am I also fit to practice soul power? Smiling, he replied. Naturally, everybody is. Even for those with a red soul C, they only need to practice techniques that are most suitable for them. Good! Look at me next! Ma Dude then channeled his spiritual power within the crystal, making it shine bright red. However, the light was not intense enough, making him feel a bit dejected. You guys are really pathetic, he said while looking at his soul projection. However, Nie Li saw it differently as he shouted. Oh, Red Soul C? Chaos Attribute, Scarlet Sun Form. Scarlet Sun Form is rather common, but for it to belong to the Chaos Attribute? Something like that only occurs in 1 out of every 10,000 people. Why don't you try practicing the Holy Primal Chaos Technique? Holy Primal Chaos Technique? Is it strong? He asked. Of course. It is on par with the Heavenly Qilin Technique. On top of that, there's no need for rigorous practice. You only need to nurture the body's chaos force. This technique seems very suitable for you. But whether or not you can reach the top levels is all up to you. Heh. I don't need to achieve the top level. I'll be satisfied as long as I can reach Demon Spiritualist Silver Level 1. Hearing that, Nie Li thought to himself. I don't know what the creator of the Holy Primal Chaos Technique would think if he knew Lu Piao's ambition level for it. As the chaos force accumulates in the body, one's power will become increasingly abnormal. It's impossible to think that you can maintain silver level. My turn, exclaimed Wei Nan. Nie Li Ten helped Wei Nan and the others test their attributes and taught them strengthening techniques accordingly. Although their abilities were not as strong as the Heavenly Qilin Technique or the Holy Primal Chaos Technique, all of them possessed top-tier techniques that fit their attributes very nicely. As his turn came, his mind was running wild. I should test it out my own. I wasted so much effort in my previous life, practiced too many pointless and miscellaneous techniques, resulting in a lack of power in my later training. I have to start from the beginning in this life to find the most suitable techniques for myself. As expected, his soul power was weak, as it also shone red, making Lu Piao, who is never serious, chuckle at him. Pfft. And as always, the ever-serious Du Zhe was not amused by his laughter. Looking at his soul power that was still at level 5, he thought to himself, Red Soul C, Scattered Form, no attributes. Ha 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 ha. So this is what my soul realm was like in the beginning. No cohesive form or attributes deemed to be the weakest soul realm type. Without knowing that, I practiced all sorts of techniques, resulting in it being even more chaotic. No wonder it was so hard to achieve a breakthrough even after practicing so long in the demon spirit book temporal space. So, that's the reason. Our boy then started digging deep within his memories. Soul realms without attributes are unstable and the easiest to change. So, the best techniques for a non-attribute soul C should have 3 types. Heavenly God Technique. Among the 3 techniques, the Heavenly God Technique is the most comprehensive and most difficult to practice. 2. War God Technique. The War God Technique is extremely overbearing. 3. Void God Technique. The Void Technique is the most mysterious and unknown. Comparing what can be accomplished, practicing the Heavenly God Technique is the best. It's flexible, just like the non-attribute soul realm. If I'm successful in mastering it, then I can practice all attribute-type techniques, gaining immeasurable power and creating my own path. Practicing normal techniques, the soul C can only contain one spirit, which can be changed when a stronger spirit is obtained. By practicing the Heavenly God Technique, the soul realm can contain up to 7 different attribute spirits. With every combination, the power will increase explosively, and the resulting power will be unimaginable. So what if my speed will be much slower by practicing the Heavenly God Technique? No matter. This is the so-called path to greatness. I'll start off with basic foundation practice, strengthening the foundation, and increasing the spiritual levels. Nie Li then began his chant of techniques. Looking at him, Du Zhe spoke out. Nie Li seems to have already started practicing. We should begin as well. Yeah. Back to Nie Li, he thought. I shouldn't focus on the training speed, but build a good foundation step by step, saying that we could see a surge of spiritual power surging through his brain. The others also sat in a lotus position and began cultivating. During class time in the next few days, Nie Land Company stayed in the library's room to practice, leaving only to eat and rest. On the 3rd day, Nie Li was still practicing, and after he finished, he went through his pocket to retrieve the soul crystal, which had seemed to have increased in soul power. 30 points. Heh heh. What will Shen Xiu think when she sees this? Time then shifts to the beginner apprentice class. Still not seeing him in class, Xiao Ning'er thought to herself. They have been absent for a few days. It's almost time for the treatment. Did Nie Li forget about it? Looking at her, Ye Ziyun also thought to herself that Ning'er has been daydreaming a lot recently. She can't secretly be in love with Nie Li, right? What's so good about that guy? She wondered. Turning back towards the classroom, the teacher Shen Xiu humphed and thought to herself, practicing hard somewhere, does Nie Li think that by practicing hard, he can raise his soul power from 5 to 100 in 2 months? Too bad you are a useless piece of trash with only a red soul realm. Prepare to quit school in 2 months. This is the price you pay for talking back to me. The teacher then instructed the class. Among the 7 colors of the soul realm, red is the lowest grade. Only a handful of them have achieved silver rank in Glory City's few century-long history. Unless a miracle happens, a red soul realm's soul power capacity is limited to about 600, with the difficulty progressively increasing. After class, 2 students were busy discussing our boy and his bet with the teacher. Nie Li said that, in 2 months' time, he can raise his soul force from 5 to 100. Truth be told, isn't that a bit too much? Yeah, even a genius with green soul force might not be able to do it. But I hope Nie Li achieves it. I hate that hypocritical woman. Ah, me too, although hope might not be in sight. Nie Li humph, being rude to elders, talking back to a superior family. He really is the black sheep of the nobles, another commented. Some people just like to hang out with commoners. What can we do? Time then shifted to the evening, at the library, as the squad was done with their own business, with Lu Piao shouting out how full he felt. Most people just left for dinner. So there's less people here. Duze spoke out and continued. Nie Li, my soul strength has reached 89 points. I should be breaking through to bronze I star in a week. Not bad. It seems like within 2 weeks, all of you will be breaking through to bronze, 1 star. We need to get some elixirs. With the elixirs, our training speed will improve tremendously. That's right. We are improving so fast without elixirs if we had them. I wonder how shocking our progress would be, shouted Lu Piao. But where can we get elixirs? The cheapest will cost 10,000 demon spirit coins per piece. Yeah. Even though killing horned sheep earns 16,000 plus demon spirit coins, after purchasing the soul crystals, we are only left with about 10,000 demon spirit coins. In that case, you guys carry on cultivating. I have something to do tonight, so I won't be joining you guys, said Nie Li, then continued. I will think of something to make that 10,000 multiply itself. Hey, will you be okay on your own? Need me to accompany you? Asked Lu Piao. However, looking at him, Nie Li just thought to himself, I have to provide treatment for Xiao Ninger tonight. Fully treating her illness will not be a small feat. Then he replied, Nope, no need. Aha, but up to you. Oh, okay. Then don't complain in the future about leaving you behind when my cultivation is way higher than yours. Bragged Lu Piao without shame, which caused Duze to shout at him. With your training attitude, you use your head start to ditch Nie Li, eh? Why do you have so much to say? Lu Piao also shouted. Not paying mind to their squabbles, our boy seemed to be distracted by something as he suddenly had flashbacks of his past life, as before him was his past lover, Ye Ziyun. Feeling nervous at the sight of her, he calmed himself down. Calm down. Calm down. How should I approach her so as not to startle her? After breathing in some confidence, he told his squad to carry on walking as he got some stuff to settle. Suspicious Lu Piao followed suit to see where he was going. The door is over there. Ah, where is he going? Seeing that he was advancing towards Ye Ziyun, they were all excited. Oh, wow! Ha ha ha, Nie Li's advancing. I bet Nie Li will be defeated within 15 minutes. The class idol will ignore him. I hope Nie Li won't suffer too much of a shock. However, they underestimated our boy's riz, and as soon he saw what she was reading, which was the book of Divine Lightning Fire, he knew what to do immediately. Reading it, Ye Ziyun was stunned. The contents after Chapter 2 are all in ancient text, totally unreadable. That Nie Li can even remember the inscriptions in it. I've always thought that at our age, I'm among the top. Didn't think our difference would be that big. Looking at her, he could not help but chuckle. Ha. Judging by the way she holds the book, she must be comparing our knowledge. I know her too well. Ma Dude then inquired, What's wrong? Are you also interested in the book of Divine Lightning Fire? Seeing him so close, she stepped back a bit, then answered him. Yes, this book is too intriguing. After skimming through it, I realized that I cannot comprehend most parts. The squad from the back were also shocked. Faced with Nie Li's approach, she actually frankly admitted that she couldn't understand the book, and at the same time, gracefully took a step back, creating a friendly space between them. Nie Li lost this round. Shifting to our boy, he continued to talk to her, also recommending a book. This scripture uses the ancient language of the Snowwind Empire. As the era of that empire dates quite far back, the words are more difficult to understand. But if you study the Black Gold Empire's language, it will be much simpler. Black Gold Empire? She wondered, then thought to herself. Let's see. Before the Dark Ages, there were 3 prominent records with complete documentation of their era, and they are named after the strongest empire in that era. The Holy Spirit Empire era, the Snowwind Empire era, and the Sacred Empire era. The Black Gold Empire should be a rather large one that existed during the Snowwind Empire era. Nie Li is so knowledgeable, he must be reading books in the library often. Our boy then broke her thought, telling her that learning a language just to read one book is unnecessary. Plus, with her attribute, the lightning fire category shouldn't be suitable for her. Oh? Then which technique is suitable for me? She asked lightly. Snow wind category. And as soon as he answered, she was surprised. How did he know that? My attribute was tested by my grandfather using a hereditary secret technique. This is definitely not leaked to outside families. And also, each usage requires a huge amount of soul power. However, he still continued with your family background. Your family members definitely tested for your attribute, but never tested for the form of your soul realm. So the technique you are learning now might not suit you. Form of the soul realm. Never heard of it, she thought to herself. Why don't we spend some time to allow me to test for the form of your soul realm? He requested. A test? If the test is the same as the one grandfather did, then there will be skin contact, she thought. And with that in mind, she disagreed. No need. Eh? Spit? Naili has been mercilessly rejected. He's in a pinch. Laughing off her disagreement, he reassured her. Ha ha ha. You may be overthinking. The test is simple. It just needs a new piece of soul crystal. Concentrate your soul power into it, and all I need to do is observe. And I will be able to know the form of your soul realm. Eh? That simple? It looks like I misunderstood Nie Li. Not waiting any longer, he left her with some departing words. I will be here tomorrow as well. If you want to test the form of your soul realm, you can find me here tomorrow, same time. Looking at his retreating figure, Lu Piao was shocked as ever. Normally, when guys get the chance to talk to the goddess, they will try to lengthen the conversation as long as possible. But Nie Li just cut short the talk. Is this the rumored hard-to-get technique? What power? However, before he could go far, Ye Ziyun called him back. Nie Li, yes? And seeing that the squad got even more excited. Oh, Nie Li wants to go, and Ye Ziyun actually took the initiative to call out to him. I underestimated him. As expected of the boss, first was Xiao Ninger. Now Ye Ziyun is also on board. Shifting to Ye Ziyun, she continued. Your knowledge on inscriptions is very profound. I wonder if I can consult you on it. Turning around, he answered back with enthusiasm. Sure. Knowledge is meant to be shared. Pulling out some scrolls from her storage ring, she continued. These 2 bronze scrolls are both snow wind inscription scrolls. These 2 inscriptions won't activate no matter what I do. Seems like there is a problem with the inscription, but I can't seem to find it. This scroll does have some problems with the drawing, but I guess the professors wouldn't be able to find it. Actually, you can ask your father. He definitely knows what's wrong with this. Hearing that, her mood suddenly became solemn, which made him remember. Ah, right. Ye Ziyun lost her mother at a tender age. Her father is the city lord and has tons of work to do, and her grandfather is a legend rank expert who often has to lead expedition teams down the mountain. Of course, there is no one to ask. However, he then made a vow to her. In that case, if you have any questions in the future, you can find me here after school. Yes, she affirmed. Ma Dude then continued to tell her his analysis. This is the snow wind category, bronze inscription, blizzard slash. There is no problem with the structure of the inscription, but the scroll is of poor quality. Poor quality. Scroll? Yeah, whoever made this is highly skilled in creating counterfeits. It's understandable if the buyer is inexperienced and carelessly ends up buying this scroll. This inscription is written using the blood of the snow wind spiritual worm. The blood of the normal adult is silverish gray in color, but this inscription is silverish red in color. My guess is that this is written using the blood of a larva, and the larva is not strong enough, resulting in the failure to activate this scroll. Hearing that, it's as if she figured out something. Ah, so that's where the problem lies. No wonder no professors or even the vice principal could solve this problem. Because this bronze scroll is already complete. Nie Li can tell with one look. Don't tell me his knowledge is even more profound than the vice principal, she thought. He doesn't seem to be as bad of a person as I thought he was. Here, take a look at this, she offered. Opening up the scroll, he spoke out his speculations. This is the Snow Wind category Ice Wind Blizzard, which was once a silver grade inscription. But what's left after the Dark Ages is an incomplete inscription. This inscription dropped in grade to become a bronze grade after descendants tried to mend it. Hearing all that, she was confused. Huh? Icewind Blizzard was once silver grade? How come I've never heard of that before? She thought. Ma Dude then still continued. After being mended, the structure is still unstable, so it will be unusable. Let's head over to the table to talk more. I want to change the structure of the inscriptions a bit. Change? How? My grandfather is a legend rank expert that can create inscriptions, but even he never said that he can change a complete inscription, she thought to herself. Sitting down, he inquired if she had a pen. Here. Oh, silver horn pen? Good stuff. Without thinking much, Ma Dude made hand contact upon taking the pan, which made her feel embarrassed. Was that on purpose? She wondered. However, seeing our boy being so serious, she thought twice. Am I overthinking it? After the rigorous drawing, he lifted his pen and began explaining. This is the complete version of the silver grade Icewind Blizzard inscription. It is derived from the 36 basic inscription methods. This structure is the stable version. However, seeing it, she was now even more confused. Oh. Twice the complexity of the original, and he took so little time to finish after its repair, I actually can't understand it anymore. Keep it first. I'll find someone to make it into a scroll when I'm home. The squad from behind were chattering as always. They actually started conversing. Yeziun asked Nie Li on cultivations and inscriptions. Power. After he was done explaining everything, Yeziun stood up to leave, not forgetting to thank him. Nie Li, thank you for your explanations. And don't forget our promise. She then flashed him with a charming smile. Same place tomorrow. I won't leave until you come. Naturally, it left our boy love-struck. His first encounter and already chatted with her. Doesn't seem bad. Time to leave. However, having tasted some vinegar, the ever-waste man Shen Yue appeared before him with lightning speed, catching him off guard as he grabbed clothes. Shen Yue? Feeling sour, he screamed, questioning our boy. What did Ziyun talk to you about just now? However, our boy was not buying it as he roared in defiance. Let go of me, or I won't show you mercy later. Ha. Won't show me mercy? What do you think you are? Just because you know some inscriptions. So what? Stay away from Ziyun from now on, or else I will help you stay away. Witnessing everything, the squad tried to help our boy as they rushed out. Shen Yue? Get him! However, it was not going to be that easy, as Shen Yue's lackeys stepped forward to stop them. What do you think you are going to do? Juniors. Triggered, Duze thought to himself. Shen Yue's followers? Almost all of them are bronze level. What's happening? The crowd wondered. Looks like Shen Yue and Nie Li clashed over Goddess Ye and a fight's gonna break out soon. Nie Li dares to ruffle Shen Yue, with Shen Yue nearing breakthrough to bronze level. Nie Li will be decimated. Unafraid, Nie Li thought to himself. Hey, brat, even though my strength is only 38 and soul power is only 32, it's enough to toy with you. Grabbing his hand tightly, our boy sneered. Who's gonna help who? Ah! Shen Yue winced in pain, but our boy grabbed his hand even tightly and continued. With your sacred family as backing, you can be predominantly domineering, huh? Green Soul see and you feel you are a genius yourself, huh? but the waist. Shen Yue was just in pain at that moment, wincing in more pain. Woo-ah-ah-ah! Not realizing his weakness, he came up with an excuse in his head. Ah, what's happening? I can't exert strength over my whole arm. His strength should only be 21. I should be able to dominate him easily. What demonic arts is Ni Li using? Looking at his pained expression, he thought to himself. He released him for a brief moment, and while he was panting heavily, Nie Li mocked him. Hey, unbelievable, huh? Your control over your strength is like the prehistoric barbarians. Then thought, huh? By focusing strength to the fingertips and aiming at the joints and pressure points, don't mention the arm losing strength. Even crippling you is possible. As one of Shen Yue's lackeys glanced back at the situation, he wondered in shock. What's happening, boss? Shen Yue seems to be in pain. Duza also thought, huh, Nie Li's cultivation technique must be stronger than ours, even though we don't know how many points he cultivated to already. Anyways, Shen Yue hit a dead end. Back to our boy, he was still pissed, pointing at the waist. Ziyun is a name for you to casually call, huh? The next time I find you secretly following Ye Ziyun again, don't blame me for disciplining you. Hearing that, the waist, Shen Yue, was in disbelief, as he lost control of emotion, exuding his aura. No, no, this is not possible. How can I? I'm the genius of the sacred family. How can I lose to you? Shouting, he roared, You forced my hand! Exuding more of his soul power, it seemed he was determined to fight it out. And, witnessing that, Nie Li braced himself. Thinking. He wants to directly use soul power to attack my soul realm. Panicked, Duze wanted to interfere. Slit. Nie Li just started training his soul force 2 days ago. His soul power won't be able to win against Shen Yue. However, naturally, he was blocked by Shen Yue's lackeys. With his soul power pulsating more, it created huge gusts of wind, suffocating the surrounding area. His soul power should be at least twice as high as mine. As expected of the descendants of the sacred family, he must be constantly taking elixirs, but soul force is not used this way. Feeling more confident, Shen Yue scoffed. Ha ha! With such a weak soul force you dare to be so arrogant in front of me? Boom! He increased his soul power, making Nie Li step back. Boom! 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 Witnessing him step back, he got even more confident. Huh! He cannot withstand it. However, he celebrated too quickly as our boy had a plan for that, making him sneer. Humph! You know nothing. And from his forehead appeared a flashing light, the point break. With the massive energy heading towards him, he pierced through the energy with his own, surprising the waist dude. However, he was too late, as the energy penetrated through his head, damaging soul power, making him unable to breathe as he was choking heavily. Struggling to stand up, he suddenly looked up at our boy, and in his image, he saw our boy as a true demon. And we get to know why he felt that way, as Nie Li encountered lots of life and death situations in his past life. Countless of strong experts also lost their life to Nie Li. During the Soul Force clash just now, he let the killing intent hidden in the depths of his soul realm transmit directly over to Shen Yue's soul realm. Suddenly, some vile liquid dripped from Shen Yue's body, and what do you know, the waist guy was pissing himself in fright, making even his lackeys turn their head in shock. As this terrifying presence, not even Shen Yue can defy. You peed your pants? And you dare threaten me in this state? I'm too lazy to waste any more time with you. Walking closer to him, he grabbed him by the collar and lifted him up. Get lost! And don't ever come near me in the future. With a sudden whoosh, he threw him outside the window, ordering him to stay away from him from now on. He then slammed outside with a loud bang. Witnessing this, his lackeys ran towards him, shouting in worry. Boss! Boss! Are you okay, boss? Your pants are wet. Take me away quickly. he whimpered, and Lu Piao wasn't going to let the opportunity slide, as laughed at him. "Ha ha! Young Master Shen still pees his pants at this age, he. Boss, are you all right?" one asked. However, the guy was too stunned to speak. Witnessing everything, the crowd bustled. "Huh? Shen Yue was thrown out by Ni Li. But Shen Yue is almost at 1-star bronze rank. I thought Shen Yue would have taught Ni Li a lesson." "Ha ha ha! You notice." Shen Yue wet his pants. "That's the sign of his soul force being broken into. Isn't Ni Li the one who made a bet with the instructor? They say if he can reach 1-star bronze rank within 2 months, the instructor would resign. From the looks of it, his soul force is already stronger than Shen Yue's." Back to the squad. They were all overjoyed. "Ha ha! Finally taught him a lesson. Hey, not bad, Nie Li. And I thought you stood no chance against him. Shen Yue definitely won't dare to be so arrogant anymore." "All right, you guys head on up," said Nie Li as he then continued. "I need to go, it's almost dark outside." He then ran out of the library, urgently heading elsewhere. Later that night at the training field, he was seen dashing through the forest, his destination, the meeting spot where Xiao Ninger was always waiting. "Hi," he greeted her. "Oh, I thought you wouldn't show up. How could I not? I am a man of my word. No matter what happens, I still have to help you treat your injury first." Bowing, she thanked him. "Thank you. No problem. Let's start the treatment." Squatting to inspect the injury, he made a surprised face. "Ah, the color of the bruising is a lot lighter now. And I've even slept well in the past couple days," she confirmed. "There's something I'd like to ask for your help with, not sure if you'll agree to it." But the girl was not ungrateful, as he was willing to listen to his request. "Anything is fine, as long as I'm able to do it." Ma Dude then laid out his plan. "I have 10,000 demon spirit coins here. I want you to send people to all the pharmacies and acquire purple mist grass. Purple mist grass, 1 demon spirit coin can get you a lot of it." "How much do you want?" she asked. "Of course, the more the better. I want however much is available on the market." Hearing that, she thought to herself, "Purple mist grass isn't used for anything else besides insect-repelling incense. What in the world is Nie Li trying to do?" Nonetheless, she agreed. "All right, leave it to me. I'll pay for it. 10,000 demon spirit coins isn't much to me anyways, so just keep your money for now." Sure. Then help me buy as many as possible. You pay for it first, then I will return you the money with double the interest." Flustered, she denied. No. This little money isn't much to me. Tens of thousands is not little money to us. And to say I'm a man, if I have the capacity to borrow but don't have the capacity to return it, I will be a laughing stock. And also, it's time for the other place to be treated. Before that, however, the scene shifts to the Holy Orchid Institute instructor's office, as someone was busy shouting. "What? You were thrown out of the library by Nie Li." Turns out, it was the teacher Shen, who was scolding his nephew. "Your strength is already at 63, plus your soul force is at 78. Don't tell me that Nie Li is still stronger than you?" Being the bitter loser he is, he tried making excuses. "Aunt, that fellow Nie Li knows demonic arts. The moment he grabbed my wrist, my arm lost all its strength. Although my soul force is much stronger than his, once I came into contact with his soul force, my own collapsed. This is infuriating," he then thought to himself. "To make me suffer this much humiliation, Nie Li, I'll get you for this." Not buying it, his aunt questioned him. "How much is his strength and soul force currently?" "His strength is at most 30. The soul force is at most 10. Trash." "How could you lose to that?" she shouted. "It's possible that this guy may have good control over his strength and soul force. Although there are some people who possess weak soul force, they exhibit a talent for control. You are still young and have yet to learn the proper way to use soul force. Hence, he was able to overpower you even when he was weaker. Although, wishing to achieve bronze rank 1 star within 2 months will not be so simple. Hearing that, he agreed, thinking he still had the advantage. Yup. This fellow better quit school quickly and stay far away. Who does he think he is to stand a chance with Ye Ziyun? Back to our boy. After witnessing her undergarments, he blushed lightly, evading more embarrassment. Pink, huh? That's a maiden's color, he thought, then asked, Did you take your medicine on time in the last few days? Yup. On top of that, after I went back to practice the technique you amended for me, I could feel my soul force getting stronger. I think the real genius here is you. Although no one noticed yet, when the day comes for you to reveal your talent, you will definitely shine brightly. Ooh, thank you. We then shift to the Sacred Family Conference Hall. Upon the throne was the Sacred Family Deacon Elder, Shen Ming, a silver demon spiritualist. After a servant relayed a message to him, he was outraged. Outrageous! A mere brat from the fighter's apprentice class dares to challenge us, the Sacred Family? Nie Li. When he exposed the origins of the Scarlet Flame explosion inscription previously, it forced me to use various means to eliminate the impact in the major families. It hasn't even been more than a few days, and he already beat up our descendant. What's more, there are rumors of a VIP favoring him, so we can't carelessly cause trouble for him. He then asked, Isn't young Master Shen Yue about to reach bronze rank 1 star? How is he not a match for Nili? Nervous, the servant answered. This servant isn't sure as well, but according to young Master Shen Yue, both his strength and soul force is clearly stronger than Nili's, however. Nili used some unknown demonic art to defeat young Master Shen Yue. Hump. How strong can students of the fighter's apprentice class be? What demonic art? It's just an excuse for his lack of skill. Deacon Elder, do you want to report these matters to the house? Hold head. That won't be necessary. The head is currently breaking through the legend demon spiritualist rank. Such trifling matters should not bother him. Have you done an in-depth investigation on Nili's family background? We have already conducted an investigation. It's the Heavenly Marks family. Heavenly Marks family? Humph. An ordinary noble family still dares to provoke our family at its peak. I reckon that Nili is just a clueless 10-year-old or so, who accidentally found the origin of the Scarlet Flame explosion inscription and just can't wait to show off. It would make us seem too petty if we were to specifically cause trouble for the Heavenly Marks family. About Nie Li, let young Master Shen Fei take care of him. Conflicts between kids and school fights are normal. That's right. Let young Master Shen Fei start only after this matter has been blown over, or else he'll be the conversation topic. Understood. We again shift to the City Lord Mansion at Ye Ziyun's room. As expected, she was busy trying to comprehend some inscriptions. Where exactly did Nie Li find this inscription? She wondered. Then suddenly a maid from her back called for her. Miss Ziyun. Aunt Zhui? Were you looking for me? She wondered. Aunt Zhui, you're an inscription master, right? Do you know the origin of this inscription? This is similar to Icewind Blizzard, but it seems to be stronger. I have never seen this before. The ratio is balanced well with a reasonable layout. Which master's calligraphy is this? Shui Yin admits defeat. Could it be that Milady met an inscription master? Surprised, she could only stand there dumbfounded. Eh? Back to our boy? It seemed Xiao Ninger wanted to warn our boy. By the way, Nie Li, since you offended the Sacred Family, you must be very careful, she then continued. The sacred family is despicable and shameless. The reason our winged dragon family fell into decline is also due to the sacred family's trap, causing more than 80% of our property to fall into their control. Now we have no choice but to latch onto them to survive. I already thought about that. Don't worry. The sacred family cares a lot about their appearance. I reckon they won't give me any trouble in the short term. He then thought to himself, hey, although when they do come, I'll already have some counter-measures. Looking at his determined gaze, she filled with respect. After you go back home, get a piece of unused soul crystal. I'll conduct an attribute test for you. Xiao Ninger is indeed a trustworthy partner. Her innate ability isn't bad as well. I should teach her some powerful techniques, he thought. But turns out she already had some, as she pulled it out of her space ring. I have 3 unused soul crystals with me now. Here, you have them right now, that's great. Need to hand it over. Just pour your soul force into it. All right, then I'll begin. As soon as she poured her energy, it glowed very brightly. Ugh, it's so bright. Seeing the symbol that appeared within the crystal, he was amazed. The soul force is at 8-3. Soul attribute is wind lightning. Soul form is winged dragon. Soul form? Wind lightning type? Winged dragon form? What does all that mean? She wondered. Simply put, the techniques most suitable for you are wing lightning techniques. He then thought to himself. No wonder when she contracted the extreme coldness in my past life, she could still recover so fast after being bedridden for 2 years. The winged dragon form is an extremely rare ultimate innate ability. With the winged dragon form's soul realm, training any technique will be very fast. If the technique's attribute is the same, then the training speed will be ridiculously fast. Let me think. Wind lightning type, winged dragon form. Right. In my past life, when I was exploring some ruins, I had acquired a technique which just suits her nicely. He then informed her. I have a wind lightning type cultivation technique with me. I'll just pass it to you. This will be much stronger than your previous technique. If only I had the winged dragon form. With that said, he began chanting the technique for her to memorize. If I redirect my soul force, according to this formula, she thought, and as soon as she did, she felt its power. It's so strong. This is the wind lightning winged dragon technique. It's the one that is most suitable for you. I'm really grateful. Nie Li, first, you treat my injuries. Then you gave me such a strong technique. I really don't know how to repay you. We're all friends. Helping each other is a given. Ha 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 ha. Seeing her so quiet, he still tried to reassure her. You really should not think too much about it. Your extreme coldness is almost gone too. Why don't you start practicing ha 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 ha? Having no choice, she finally agreed. Okay. Quickly, dawn arrived. Witnessing her practicing, he was amazed. Wow, this green light. The soul force is already close to 100. It's too fast. Huh. Xiao Ninger probably won't have to suffer so much in this life anymore. Reaching the limit, she yelled out, I'm gonna break through! But when Xiao Ninger opened her eyes, Nie Li was already long gone. Come morning and we are shown a guy running towards a store. The store owner, figuring out what the guy needed, was not even surprised. Purple, mist, grass. I guess you are also a servant from the winged dragon family. Someone from your family already came and bought all the purple mist grass. Ah, we want those in your herb garden too. Milady told us to buy everything that's available. Our entire household only needs a few kilos of purple mist grass. But who cares? Recently, Milady suddenly improved by leaps and bounds, and now the entire family's focus is on her. The patriarch's orders were to let Milady do as she pleases in regards to money and expensive herbs. At a certain restaurant, Xiao Ninger and Nie Li were drinking tea and discussing. Nie Li was stunned. Whew, it only took a few days to settle the matter? Your servants are really efficient. These are all the collected purple mist grass, which is about hundreds of thousands of kilos. Taking the spiritual ring, he was calm. Ah, not bad, not bad. But he instantly spat out his tea in surprise. A few 100,000? Don't mind it. Compared to the winged dragon technique, this small amount of money is insignificant. Come afternoon, and our boy was back at the library, and seeing him so busy, his friends kept discussing. What has Nie Li been writing while constantly muttering to himself? Let's not bother him. Let's study up on some inscriptions and battle tactics. If one is to reach high cultivations, one must first be equipped with profound knowledge. But the others paid no attention to Du Zhe, which pissed him off. On the other side, a guy donning shiny armor appeared, grabbing everyone's attention. Divine Family Chen Lin Jian. Bronze rank 5-star. 15 years old. But this video ends here. Be sure to stay tuned for more. Until next time.